we're going to demonstrate the assembly of a legacy shuffleboard. After everything is unpacked and laid out, the hardware's laid out, the playfield is unpacked, the cabinet is laid upside down on a protected surface in order to protect the finish, we're going to then begin the assembly, and it's just simple once the hardware is laid out, and again, we're going to go through that. First thing that you do is you take the provided wood dowels and you insert them in the holes for the cabinet in order to provide alignment. So when the cabinet is put together, the alignment will be exactly perfect. Brandon, let's put this together. Very easy. Once that's finished, we're going to take the legs and just set them in place in the cradles that are designed for them. All three legs are the same. There's no specific leg for the center, since all the bolt patterns are the same, so any of the legs can go any place. Then with the leg hardware that's provided, we just insert all the bolts and tighten carefully. When tightening the legs, you have to be very careful. Again, the legs are set into a cradle that's designed to support the leg for the hardware to be secured to. When you tighten those bolts, you're asking the wood to be pulled apart if tightened too hard. So you just want to tighten firmly, but not over tight. Once all the legs are snugged down, then we're going to go ahead and turn the cabinet all the way over. Place your foot right here. We're going to roll it this way. Set it down carefully. All one motion. We're going to pick it up and put it on its feet. All right, next step we're going to do, we're going to assemble the shelves that belong to this particular model. Both 12 and 14 foot have shelves, so we're going to go ahead and assemble those and install those underneath. Once the shelves are assembled, we're going to go ahead and install them underneath the shuffleboard. Because it's very tight inside this shelf, it's best to use just a standard screwdriver rather than a power tool. So you get that up inside and be able to tighten that. We're going to apply the provided screws into the holes pre-drilled at the bottom of the shelf, and they just go directly into the leg. Once we have one shelf mounted securely, then we just simply go to the other side and do the same thing. The important thing here when you're installing this shelf is that you make sure the shelves are exactly even on both sides. So once the bolts are in place, we'll just adjust that appropriately and then run those screws in this side. Once the cabinet is assembled and the shelves are in place, the next procedure we're going to do is we're going to put our provided stretchers across the cabinet to support the playfield while we begin work on that. We're going to install the climate adjusters into the provided holes in the playfield. Once those are all secured in place, then we'll turn it over, lay it into the tray of the cabinet here, and then begin the leveling process. These brackets are called the climate adjusters. This is the most significant piece to provide correct play to the shuffleboard. They're going to provide curving and convexing of the playboard in order to get correct play. They're very strong pieces of metal using an all thread for adjustment, and we'll show you that later. But for right now, it's very important that when they're screwed down, they're very, very tight. We use a very heavy grade of hardware, and you need a strong drill, an impact drill if possible, in order to secure those down tightly. Like all hardware, it's best to get them started before you tighten them, just so that you make sure your placement is correct. Once it's centered, go ahead and secure the bolts. An easy way to turn the playfield over and not set it down on your fingers is to the corners of the playfield where they'll be set down. We're going to just place some of the pucks for the playfield. So when we set it down, we can get our fingers out from under the way. All right, let's turn this on its side. And then turn it flat. Now, you pick your side up, I'll take the stretcher away, and you can set your side down. Now, to get the pucks out, it's very easy. One gets underneath, picks up on the playboard, and the pucks are slid out of the way. Once the playfield is set down into the cradle, we have more hardware that's going to be inserted under the cabinet into the playfield to bolt it down. We want the center bolted down so that it stays tight and in place. So with the help of your partner, you need to move the playfield around. There's pre-drilled holes underneath, and you'll slide it a little more. Nope, nope, too far. Come back. Oop, right there. Once the playfield is set into the cabinet, the next phase that we're going to do is we're going to adjust the concave surface in order to correct the playfield. When the puck slides down the end of the playfield, it needs to sweep at the ends or over the scoring zone. Our climate adjusters give us the ability to do that. We use a straight edge tool that fits inside the playfield going across and a flat piece of paper. You simply take the paper and you slide it under the straight edge, and if it's loose in the center and tight on the ends, that gives us the concave surface we want for correct play. So we've done that under here. We're going to move under the scoring zone and adjust this one. Brandon, adjust that just a little bit. Perfect. Once that is adjusted, the paper will easily slide underneath the straight edge in the center and will be tight on both ends. That's the adjustment we're looking for. Once we've done one end, we then go to the other end and do the same thing. The middle climate adjusters are strictly to ensure that the playfield is flat. We're not trying to convex it or concave it. We want it totally flat. So the middle will be adjusted for that, and the ends under the scoring zone will be a concave adjustment. Once that is done and the climate adjusters are tightened, your playfield is set. Now that the playfield is adjusted and everything is secured to the cabinet, what we're going to do is we're going to loosen the bolts on the center leg. And we need to do that so that we can create a slight sway to the playboard. That controls the speed of the puck. But before we can do that and raise the legs of the ends of the cabinet, we need to loosen the bolts so that we don't break any of the wood in the cabinet. Once those bolts are loosened, now we can go ahead and make our adjustments under the feet or under the legs of this cabinet. First thing we're going to do is we're going to check our sway. We're going to use just a standard 4-foot level. We're going to lay it directly on the playfield, and we want to have the end slightly high. So right now we're looking for this end to be slightly high. I want to raise this foot up, just twist those out just about a half a turn. All right. That's good. That's what we want. We'll bring the level down to this end. Check it on this end. We're good here. So we've got the ends high. We've created the sway that we want in this cabinet. Finally, we take the level and we're just going to lay it across the cabinet, and we're going to use the legs to level it from side to side. It says that side's a little low. In this case, you also use the center leg to measure this as well. Once all those adjustments are made, then you go back and lightly tighten your center leg. Once the cabinet is leveled, the playfield is adjusted correctly, everything is set, Legacy provides a very important piece of trim. Because of the sway of the cabinet, sometimes this seam where the two cabinets come together will have a gap in some places. That's because, again, we're trying to create with the wood, we're trying to create a sway to the playfield. So Legacy provides this piece of trim. It's got a sticky back on it. You peel that and you simply apply it directly over the seam as a cosmetic piece to hide that should there be any gap. And that's just a final touch for the cabinet to make sure it's done. Once that's completed, then what we're going to do is we're going to apply the scoring units. We have the scoring units here, and they're very easy. You take the provided hardware with the screws, and there's already pre-drilled holes in the top rail of the cabinet. So we screw these down so that they're snug, these plastic, the black pieces. Once that's snug like so, then you apply the other one. Then you take the scoring beads. These are metal beads. You take the scoring beads and you can insert them any way you like, but they simply slide directly over the black caps and press in place until they pop. And once they're in place, then they're stuck down. That's all there is to it. So that we can explain how our scoring system works, it's very easy. The game is typically played to a score of 15 or 21, depending on how you'd like to play. So we provide these scoring beads with 11 beads only. We use 9 of the beads to count for single scores. When those are scored as the points are accrued, when you reach all 9, you slide them back to the center and slide a score 10 bead over to one side. Then you can continue with individual points to reach a score of 19, slide that back. 2 on the side indicates a score of 20, playing to 21. To condition the play surface in order to be ready to play, Legacy provides 2 products that need to be used in certain order in order to put the beads down. The first product that we're going to use is the spray silicone. Once we've taken a towel and just cleaned the play field off very carefully, go ahead and finish that side. We take our spray silicone, and what we're going to do is we're just going to mist the top surface. And what that does is just provides a slick coat to the top surface, and we're just going to let that dry. So we don't spray it very heavily at all. So you just mist the top surface very lightly. Once that is just given a few minutes to dry, we're then going to go over it with our beaded wax. Too much wax is going to cause the pucks to slow down, so you want just a very light dusted coating. So we're just going to take and very lightly spread the beaded wax over the play field, trying to spread it as evenly as you can. Make sure that the scoring area is covered very well. Hit just a couple of spots here. Now here's the important thing. Once the wax is down, then you want to go back over it with the spray silicone very lightly. What that does is it holds the wax in place. Often a puff of wind or a breeze in the room or a ceiling fan can blow the wax around, and in order to keep it set in its place, more so than without, we like to add the silicone again just as a mist to the top of the surface. Giving that just a couple of minutes to dry, you're ready to play. There's a few items that are included with your shuffleboard purchase in the box and the packaging. One that we provide is the cover. It's important when you're not playing the shuffleboard to keep it covered. It protects the wax and keeps it from getting dirty, and it also just protects the unit itself. So it's something important to keep it covered. Also included is a pamphlet that explains the installation instructions that we've just gone over, and it also talks about rules and how to play the game. So very important information with that. Also included in your packet is the registration card. We certainly ask you to fill that out and log on to our website, legacybilliards.com or playlikearenegade.com, and register your warranty for this product. You'll notice with the cover that we have slits that are sewn into it in various places. Those are to add accessories to the shuffleboard, whether you purchase them with the unit or add them later. We have a scoring unit that fits in the center, and then lights that fit on both ends. Let's show you some of those accessories that can be added to your shuffleboard. We wanted to show you some of the accessories that we offer for all of our shuffleboards. We offer lighting that can be used for 9, 12, and 14. We also offer electric scoring with graphics on both sides so that from either end you can keep track of what the score of the game is. Another nice feature that we offer is bumpers that insert into any existing shuffleboard. I'll demonstrate on this 12-foot shuffleboard. These bumpers simply insert in place very easily, like so that when the puck is thrown, you can use it to carom off and provide another element to the game. Another alternative game that we offer for shuffleboard is the bowling game, and this is common and has been around for a long time. We use wooden pins with rubber bumpers on the pins so that when they make contact with the puck, they don't scatter and shatter. We set these pins up with the provided rack. Once they're set in place, carefully lift the rack off and play. We hope this video has been helpful in installing and showing you various ways and tricks to installing this product. Any questions that you would have that would be beyond this, please contact us at legacybilliards.com or see your local dealer. Also, make sure you register your product with your local dealer or with us online. Any accessories that you would need for your shuffleboards can also be available online and from your dealer.